What's up, everybody? Welcome to Straight No Chase with Jesse Mitchell, your #1 podcast coming out of the Carolinas. I am the innovator, the emancipator, the originator, Jesse Mitchell. And today with me on the show, I got Mr. Alexis McLaurin.
Yes,
hey, Alexis.
Welcome to the show. Like to have you. Glad to have you, should I say.
Thank you.
Got my man Mario B on the set.
Yes, sir.
Running for District 3.
City Council District 3, absolutely.
Okay, well, let's get into that let's jump right into that.
Big dates coming up, y'all. Local elections. Early voting starts April the 28th.
Okay.
That'll run through May 13th, and then on May 17th is primary day. So all the city council, the mayor, all 9 districts, they're all up for grabs. So folks, make sure you're registered to vote. That's the most important thing. And then just keep an eye out for all these events. You know, Favorable Observer, they're going to be inviting us to FTCC to do a forum. It's about to be the closest thing to a debate. That's probably what we're ever going to get.
Okay.
So, you know, Goldie on the radio, we do. There's a lot of folks that are doing election coverage, as they say. So you get to find out who the candidates are if you want to. Myself, you know, my name is Mario Benavente. I've been a 25-plus year resident of District 3, E. Smith graduate. So it's been a long time since we had a Golden Bull back in the District 3 seat.
Matter of fact. You're from the
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, Dad was in the military. I was technically born in Korea, you know what I'm saying? But we went to Fort Bragg when I was a year old and been in Fayetteville ever since.
A year?
Yeah, I was about 9 months, years old.
So, yeah, you're from Fayetteville.
I'm from Fayetteville. Absolutely.
No, you mentioned the other place.
No. Lucille Souders, Nick Gerald's middle school, and then, of course, E. Smith for high school. And then, Mayor Colvin was the last Golden Bull we had in District 3, back when he was a city council person, even before he was mayor. So it's been a while since we had, like I said, a Golden Bull in the District 3 seat. So I'm going to try and make that happen.
That's dope.
So that's the plans, y'all. Make sure that you guys go out and vote. Stay informed. I'll probably knock on the door pretty soon.
Well, most people like me probably wonder, what does a city councilman do?
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean,
what do you do?
They've got the purse strings, as they say. You know, they're a legislative body. So when it comes to all that tax money they be taking out, you know, the city taxes, you know, the state take their money, the federal government take their money, the city's going to take some money from y'all too. And they're making sure that all the city services, we're talking about police department, we're talking about transportation, we're talking about sidewalks, things that you guys want, the splash pads, you see the, what do you call the senior centers, you know, basically all the money that we end up getting either from taxes or from the state or federal government. The city's council is basically saying where it's going to get allotted to. You know, what neighborhood are there no sidewalks at? You know, what neighborhood is the storm one? Every time it storms, the water just collects, you know, out front, you know. So they're dealing with those types of issues. My big interest, though, is trying to do some more creative work when it comes to solving some of these community issues, because we know violent crime, all-time high. Yeah. You know, they say it's COVID, they say it's happening all over the nation, but I'm wondering what we need to do differently, especially with our police department, to try to bring that down without mass incarcerating people. One of the things that the city's spending a lot of money on is putting up cameras at every poor neighborhood so they can track the license plates, just so they can get, if you got a expired plate or expired tag.
Oh, wow.
And the way they're trying to frame it.
That's
Yo, if you go to these city council meetings, they be getting away with a lot.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
First of all, I need to know when the next meeting is so I can be there for the this is
Monday.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna pull up on that. So, why? First of all, why are they targeting the poor neighborhoods? What's that about?
Well, that's what, you know, I'm a law student. Let me preface by saying that, you know, I'll be graduating from North Carolina Central University School of Law in a couple weeks. And so, you know, we learned.
Congratulations.
Thanks, I appreciate that. You know, the beautiful thing about going to an HBCU law school, at an HBCU law school, we talk about these issues. We're not talking, we have no misconception about the way the law is written to get poor people caught up. You know what I'm saying?
That's bullshit.
To get black and brown people caught up, because they're at least likely to be able to buy their way out of it. So
if you start sweating over here.
No, you're good, man. I'm already sweating, dude. I mean, it's a real issue. It's the idea that if you show that we arrested 100 people this week, we arrested 1,000 people this month, that somehow that's going to have a positive impact on public safety. And we're here to tell you that that is not the case. Just because you target a poor neighborhood, you know, where you say drugs are coming in and out, man, there's just as much drugs coming in and out of a rich neighborhood. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Whether it's prescription drugs over there or any other kind of illegal substance, you know what I'm saying? It happens all over. You know, white folks smoke just as much weed as anybody else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But they're not getting targeted the way that some of the poor communities are, because guess what? Y'all probably not going to get a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Poor folks are probably not going to be able to defend themselves. They're going to take a plea.
They don't know the law, probably.
And basically it inflates the numbers to make it seem like they're doing something good. Like, look how many people we arrested. But that didn't actually improve the neighborhood. That didn't actually improve public safety. Not even... You know, and so that's one of my big things is that when I think about all the reform that I want to see happen, you know, I don't want to wait till it's in the courtroom trying to save a client last minute. I would love to be in a position to where
you can prevent it.
Exactly. Yeah. Proactive stuff, make sure that we're not targeting vulnerable communities. That's one thing that honestly no one on city council is talking about. You know, the splash pads, the senior centers, that's easy. They can talk about that all day and get, you know, a little golf clap going. But we know what happened, you know, after George Floyd was killed. You know, this community basically came together and said, we demand to be heard. Yeah. And then they took Hay Street, you know what I'm saying? And
for 5 minutes. For a little bit. All of a sudden, there's no more Black Lives Matter nowhere, and we back to status quo.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was myself and a number of people that occupied the Market House for 5 days. And we made a number of demands as well. And we did see, I think for me, some forward momentum because they started talking about the 8 can't wait stuff. They started talking about some policy changes. Now, unfortunately, they never followed through. And that's my problem with city council.
And that's the thing I'm saying. Yeah, they promised a lot of stuff.
That's right.
Like always.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they never followed through. We still waiting on 4 acres and a mule right now.
It's true. It's true.
Right now, I'm still waiting on mine.
They'll try to tell you that, like, oh, this is not the right time. It's too hot right now. Everything is, the emotions are, well, that's when you actually need to capitalize on a lot of this change. But what they do is they wait till people basically get tired of it. They wait people out, you know, until it's on to the next thing. Or let's be honest, most people got jobs and kids and they're struggling day to day. That sometimes the fight for justice ends up kind of falling behind. Yeah. Just making ends meet.
Well, I got life to live still. No,
so, you know, when it comes to that dichotomy, that's where I want to step in and say that I get that. You know, I don't have children just yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't own my own business or nothing like that. Other people can kind of, you know, live their lives. But what I do want to do with my life.
You say you're going to devote yourself to the job. You say.
I'm here to be that advocate.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm here to be that zealous advocate. I'm here. I'm here to be fearless about it because unfortunately, a lot of these city council folks, I tell you what, they're worried about some of these big dollar donors. Yeah. Some of these folks that own a lot of property, a lot of commercial property around the city who have really, you know, bought and paid for their campaigns. And they're not interested in a lot of this reform. They're not interested in seeing a lot of our community come up and challenge maybe the current power structure, as they say. I'm not afraid to go ahead and step to that. You know, I think it's the slogan for my campaign. Now is our time. You know what I mean? It's no longer Fayetteville should no longer be a place where only the rich people stay rich and get richer. You know, one of the craziest statistics that I learned about was if you're born in Fayetteville in poverty, you're more likely to be poorer than your parents. You know, most people, the American dream is I'm going to do a little bit better than my father did and so on and so on, build some generational wealth. There's like 5 cities in this country where that's not true. Someplace in Alabama, someplace in Mississippi. And Fayetteville, North Carolina, is one of the places where if you're born poor, you're going to be more poor than your parents were. You know, there's just not a lot of opportunities here. So for me, I'm even thinking like, do I want to have kids? You know, are the schools going to be good if I have them? You know, a lot of people are thinking about that.
How old are you now?
Me too.
I just turned 32, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of folks on city council, they don't raise their families. You know what I'm saying? They've already kind of been past that point. We don't have a lot of people up there that are facing these issues every day. You know what I mean? So that's why we need a little more.
They're kind of past it already.
Exactly. So that it's not pressing issue for them. So, you know, I think, you know, next generation stepping up is what we need to do.
So who's running against you? Or opposed to you?
Oh, there's a lot of folks running.
How many people are running?
5 folks. Five folks.
One of those the guy or the person who's already?
So interestingly enough, no. Tisha Waddell, she was a city councilwoman. I'm sure you guys might have heard that she resigned kind of in a big fashion.
Yeah, when she did like that big letter and everything, right? Okay, I remember.
So,
I'm out of the politics. So I mean,
Yeah. So the District 3 person, the incumbent, as they say, she did something kind of wild. She resigned on the spot. It was
she basically threw him under the bus.
Yeah. Well, she made some accusations in that letter. There's definitely some accusations made about some deals that the city was doing.
Any truth to the accusations?
You know, the funny thing about it is investigations were called for, but they haven't actually followed. Once again, they didn't follow through with it. A lot of people are calling for investigation because somebody doesn't just quit their elected position.
We know what that means.
You know what I mean? It could mean anything. It could mean anything. It can mean anything, but that's just another example.
Speculate.
The lack of follow through.
We give you the facts. We don't speculate on straight. We give you the facts.
We'll throw all the speculation out there. Just
we know.
But we got 5 folks running. So there's no incumbent, so it's kind of a free-for-all in that sense. But again, a lot of the folks that are running aren't really from District 3. You know what I mean? It was kind of one of those things where an incumbent, the person who's already there, they usually win 80% of the time. But because
that's why I asked what
right,
the person
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
So the fact that Tisha resigned, it kind of makes District 3 a little bit of like a juicy fruit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like up for grabs.
Exactly. And so we had one candidate who changed their address just 2 weeks out for the filing deadline just to run in District 3.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? It happens. It happens. It happens. You know, so I try to make it a point to say that, like, you know, when it comes to who is here committed to this district, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm a part of my alumni association from my high school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm committed. I'm committed. And I don't think that can be said about all the candidates.
No, it's not. It's not going to be able to be. He's talking about that.
Hey, y'all here, bro, I swear. So,
Jesse, what you laughing about, man? I feel like I want to get in on the joke, man.
My engineer, my producer, they laugh.
Nah, because you calling some people out.
Yeah,
really? It's necessary.
They're assuming they know who you're talking about.
It's something that the community needs to know, right? I mean, if you're elected someone for the next 2 years, now we can waste 2 years of our time.
So you actually have to live in this district to be the district?
You do. Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I never knew
that makes sense, though.
And then you've heard about that vote yes, vote no stuff. I'm not sure you heard about that. They're trying to change it.
School me too.
No, you're good, man. So they're trying to change it to where there's at-large seats, where basically instead of having people from certain neighborhoods, they want to have it where, just like the mayor runs citywide, that you got to run citywide for certain seats.
Really?
Now, we don't like that. Just as for the listening audience, when you go to vote and you see a referendum, if you see a question that says, do you vote yes or no, you're voting no. We want to vote against this change to at-large because basically folks are kind of mad about last election. A minority council for the first time in Fable's history was elected.
Yeah.
You know, that means you know, there more African American folks are there than white folks, and they didn't like that. They didn't like that so much.
That tends to stir some feathers.
It did. So a former mayor, former council member, several former council members, all white males, decided that they were going to get together and hatch a plan called the Vote Yes referendum. And so this idea is to change it to where you don't elect from a neighborhood anymore, you elect citywide. Now, why would they do that? Well, because once you're running citywide, you having to focus on tens and tens of thousands of dollars to be able to go from, you know, the square footage, if you will, of the whole city as opposed to just your neighborhoods in your district. So it's almost like, you know, can we make it easier for other folks, rich folks, to be able to buy an election? That's the way that the Department of Justice looked at it, because they tried to do this about 10, 15 years ago. And back then, we still had the Voting Rights Act available to us, protections from the Voting Rights Act that since the Supreme Court has since removed, that basically shut it down. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking like one of my professors, I feel like.
No, because it's necessary.
You educated, man. You locked in, we listen to you.
No, for real. As a voter, I need to hear
Yeah,
exactly.
So there was a time where there was,
here.
federal protection. Supreme Court said that there are certain states that from antebellum period through the Civil War, through Reconstruction, y'all went out of your way to create laws to keep black folks from ever getting political power. So anytime you want to change your voting laws, you got to check with the federal government first, because you got a reputation. Now, unfortunately, about 2-3 years ago, they removed that provision. The Supreme Court, Trump's Supreme Court that he was able to add people to, basically took that provision out. And of course, the very next day, all of these southern states started doing all these laws, basically to try and prevent the vote, shorten early voting, make it absentee votes even harder to do.
Oh, that bullshit.
Right, just all these
to be
little
able to
things.
control the vote.
Voter ID, just
drink, all types of dumb
exactly.
shit.
You can't get drinks in the line. That
Yeah.
you can't give people food while they're waiting. And
That's crazy.
Fayetteville did the same thing. Well, there's people in Fayetteville that are trying to do the same thing. They're calling it the Vote Yes referendum, but what it would do is if you vote yes, you're basically saying we're going to have at-large districts now, which is a negative thing at the end of the day. And it's been proven to be after, again, the Department of Justice already shut this down 10 years ago. We just don't have that protection anymore, so we got to inform the public, make sure everyone knows, vote no. That's the big thing.
That makes sense.
Okay. So
now, for Mario B, vote yes.
I hear you.
I'm a little biased, you know, because my partner, Corinne Keys, is running.
Who's that?
You know what I mean?
I ain't heard of him. Tell me more.
He's one of your opponents.
Is it? Oh, man.
You don't know your opponents?
You know what?
I
might know. See, this is what. This is what my my team told me to do. Right? They said, Mario, you know, you kind of slick with this sometimes with these comments. So I have to make sure to remind myself every once in a while, I'm running my race. You know what I'm saying? I don't lift myself up, bringing other folks down, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
You just focus on yourself.
That's absolutely right. You know, I think it's funny that he didn't put author on his, postcard, because he had a lot of things that he is.
So you do know who he is.
And he didn't put author.
So you are familiar with the song. Because a minute ago, you know who he was. Okay, so now.
But I've been told.
He is an author, though. You don't want to put that?
Shots fired.
On his car, you think that you'd be proud of that if you were an author. You know what I'm saying? That'd be one of the things that you want to put on there.
He's written 2 books.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, one of them was sold on Amazon for, I think he made almost $500,000 off the first one.
That's wild.
And then he dropped the second one not too long ago. That did pretty well, too.
There you go.
Sure did.
So the thing for me is that I got to remember to keep the focus on Mario B, that campaign, you know what I'm saying? We got to worry about none of the opponents really like that. They got enough name recognition, they got their own reputations, nothing that I need to feed into. So, that's what hopefully that this audience takes away from this is that, we've got a person who is going to be that zealous advocate the same way I am in the courtroom, as a student attorney, getting ready to graduate to be a full-fledged attorney pretty soon. I want to put that kind of passion and advocacy that I have for the folks that need it the most, you know what I'm saying? Because District 3, unfortunately, hasn't had somebody who's been from that community, invested in that community all this time. I work with the Alumni Association for East Smith. We're doing the scholarships pretty soon. We just picked 13 people to get $1,500 basically for participating in that. So I've been going in and out of that school 3-4 times, the past 3-4 months to make sure that our seniors are actually doing it. Because sometimes getting kids to actually put in the essay and actually do everything they're supposed to do. So we're there to encourage them to do so. But
especially now, these kids don't do shit now.
No.
And it's funny because it's if it's not as simple as that on your phone, you know what I'm saying? You got to actually kind of remind them, no, put pen to paper. We actually need you to write another essay on top of all your homework and things like that. But we had 22 students actually applied, so that's great for us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to interview a bunch of them. Okay. And it's going to be a learning process for them too, because they're going to get interview experience basically once we have our little panel interview. And we want all of our students to succeed. And I guess, like I said, the big thing that I hope that all the listeners recognize is that when I talk about these things, I always back it up. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the law school stuff, we always got to cite our sources. We always got to be able to point to, where did you get that from? What cases are you referring to? Yeah. So whenever I speak on, say, hey, when I want to invest in this community, I've been investing in this community. You know what I'm saying? I've already been putting my time in and everything like that. Yeah. And I don't think that's something that any of the other candidates can really say, because they're not actually from here.
Hey, no, I would. Where is District 3 for people that don't know?
Sure. So if you can imagine where Tiffany Pines is at, that's going to be the north part, down MacArthur, down Rose Hill Road. You guys know where the VA hospital is at, off of Ramsey Street. So that's going to be the bottom half, a little bit down to Broaddell, and everything in between. So all of Country Club, all of Rose Hill Road, the right-hand side of Murchison. District 4 starts on that left-hand side. And it's actually got a funny little... it's got that woo symbol if you really look at it in a funny way. So then you also get the left hand. You also get the left hand wing of the Yadkin Santa Fe as well. So it encompasses, like I said, Rose Hill Country Club. Some of the neighborhoods, you think it was Country Club, North, Hillendale, Broaddell down there, Eccles Park, and then on Santa Fe and Yadkin, there's Cottonade. And Ponderosa. So those are some of the bigger neighborhoods. There's about a dozen more in between that. So you probably see some signs out there. I've been putting my signs all over the place.
Yeah. I see that Dreamville Fest now. You was everywhere.
He been out here too.
I'm telling you. I had to bring it out there. Dreamville Fest was a big deal. You were out there. You were out there both days too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to Jay Cole, my partner. You took care of me.
I got to meet Cole a couple of times. Actually, he went to Carolina for a concert with Wale and Janelle Monáe back in the day when he's just doing mixtapes and stuff like that. And it was just funny because he goes up there, and he did it at this last concert where he's like, he gets self-conscious about forgetting his own lyrics. You notice that? Even on this biggest stage, he's not doing Dreamville. He was like, I know I messed up a couple words. It's just funny that he's such a perfectionist that I didn't notice. I didn't notice he messed up a lyric.
What lyric he was talking about.
Like, I messed up a couple words there. And I was just like, that's interesting to me because back in the day when he was still doing the college tours, I remember he stopped the whole concert. Like, you know what? DJ, next track, I messed up the lyrics to that song. None of us knew his music, so we couldn't even know if he messed up or not. But I don't know. There's a perfectionist mindset there.
That's how he always is.
Yeah, since the beginning. Yeah. So I think it's pretty cool, man. He actually came out there when we had that march on Hay Street after George Floyd was killed.
He's about his people now. We grew up together. I grew up with him. So yeah.
You went to the same high school?
No, we he went to Terry Sanford.
Okay.
We met playing rec ball. When I was he was like 12, 13. Bro, so we've been friends way before high school.
What league did he play in? Didn't he play in the league for a little bit?
He played in Africa.
Like
that was recently though.
Yeah, but what was it for a country?
It's like a professional league in Africa.
Got it.
Bro, yeah, like he was overseas.
Yeah, dude, I'm like 40. Them days is over. I'm 36 now. Yeah, them days is over. All right. Now back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I did that already. Trying to play pro and all that and sign semi-pro team. I played a little Army ball. I played a little semi-pro. You know what I mean? I did the thing or whatever. But Those days behind me.
Hoop dreams. I'm on hoop dreams, man.
Nah. Them days, long gone. Long gone. A dream deferred. Trust me.
I like that.
But he probably still check somebody in the court, though.
Oh, you want to get it in? We can get it in.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
Ain't nothing changed now.
Look,
I'm still a killer.
he's local hooper for real.
Is it that Wesley Snipes game that you hustle somebody on the court? Is that what it is?
Well, everybody know me, so I can't hustle.
Okay.
They've also either told or heard stories of my legend.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It speak for itself.
I like it.
Tell everybody where to find you at or whatever.
Yeah, MarioB.com. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? I'll be coming knocking on a door near you pretty soon. We're just really looking forward, like I said, y'all, to have somebody at City Council who's not afraid to talk about these issues. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of police reform we want to do. We want to make sure that an independent civilian review board is something we institute to make sure that we've got trust in our law enforcement. So that's a project. If you guys check out my website, you'll be able to see more about. I think another really big thing, y'all, is to see if we can't get a grocery store on Merchant Road. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had that in a while. I know that.
We just had the Walmart.
We did, but why didn't it stay? You know what I'm saying?
Why didn't it stay over there? How many times did it get robbed? How many times did it get robbed?
That's one of my. That's one of the many sociological.
I love the murk. Don't get it twisted
Right.
now. You know, so we all grew up over there and stuff, but I mean, we all know what go down over there too.
And a lot of that stuff, it's linked to what? It's linked to poverty. You know, one of the funniest statistics that I found out about is that the median, not the median income, but the per capita income in Fayetteville, that means the most people in the city are making less than $25,000 a year. That's nothing. $25,000, I can't imagine.
That's chicken change.
It's nothing. And so you got a lot of people who are financially insecure. They're about to lose their house. They're about to do this, and they end up.
They all got Instagram.
Yeah, but that's free.
they see that makes that Instagram, that social media.
No, I got you. Yeah, it makes you. It'll make you envious.
Now you doing wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? That you don't need to be doing to keep up with the Joneses, as they say.
That's what they say. And so, are we? Is the city of Fayetteville providing even that potential, or where are those opportunities for people to actually upgrade? You know, if we want to take Fayetteville to the next level, the only way we do that is by making sure that everybody who's making $25K is making double that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's
with the job
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm most focused on, is just thinking about innovative ways to making sure that young people actually want to stay here. You know, they graduate from FSU, they graduate from Methodist, FTCC, and they want to go to the Triangle. They want to go to Atlanta. They want to go to all these other cities because they don't feel like opportunities are here for them. Because unfortunately, the way this city runs, BAH, GI money, it's good. It's coming. It's flowing. The COVID did not impact any single dollar from stopping it, that flow from stopping. But a lot of service industry
Uncle Sam pays good.
Uncle Sam, and he's limitless, right? So you can have a whole economy in Fayetteville based off of just transient folks. Now those folks don't vote here. They don't live here. They're gone in 2 to 5 years. So they're not invested in a lot of the development that the city needs. Now, grandma, grandpa, uncle, auntie, who's been living in these neighborhoods for generations, their kids aren't sticking around. So who are they going to be able to pass that house on to? Nobody. So you got a developer who's going to basically either bulldoze it or turn it into some, you know how rent is nowadays. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because they already know the GIs can pay for it. Now your average everyday Fayettevillean who's only making $25K a year, they can't. So now you're pushing everybody out. There's a word for that. It's called gentrification. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So a lot of these things that the city council, they want to say that, they recognize, but where's that follow through? Where's that action? Where's that policy change? I haven't seen it. So, that's what I'm looking forward to bringing. I don't think any of the other city council candidates really got their heads sort of in that focus area. You know what I'm saying? I don't own a business. You know what I'm saying? The current guy that got put in is a real estate agent. I ain't got no houses to sell. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really here to make sure that this community is able to level up and able to move forward without really any personal gain of mine. So I'm hoping that everyone recognizes that. MarioB.com. Check it out. City Council District 3. We got this, y'all.
Hey, there it is. Hey, appreciate you coming through. You know what I mean? Hey, when you go to the ballot, you know what I mean? Hey, Mario B. But don't forget Corinne Keys, and we're going to break on that.
Bring his books.
Welcome back. Well, welcome Mr. Kid Mathis to the set.
Hello.
Now speak up a little bit. You don't be nervous now. Don't be shy.
I'm not nervous.
Act like you done it before now.
I just talk a little low.
What's going on with you though?
Not much. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. The innovator's always doing great.
Yeah.
What's up with you though? You say you want to come on talk about a little mental health, you said?
Yes.
What's up with that?
Okay, so the Mathisphere, the Standing Light Foundation, we sell art. My husband is an artist. I started my nonprofit.
Work was dope too, I saw it.
I started my nonprofit because I went through quite a bit of things as a child and adulthood, going through college. I'm a domestic violence survivor.
It ain't him, is it?
No.
I'm gonna get him now.
No.
I'm about to say.
Oh, no.
I'm about to say. Don't be saying me like you chilling now and you wilding now. We don't play that up in here.
Just
Not up in here.
So no, my family wouldn't even allow that.
Okay.
So I started my nonprofit because I want to help people in the community who have went through things that I went through, not only with domestic violence, but this has been a subject that's been circulating the last week. Why do adults with no kids struggle? This is another reason why I started my nonprofit. We have parents that put bills in our names before we're 18 years old. So by the time we move out, we got cable bills and things like that in our names. Don't even know what our social security number was used for. I seen my mom go through domestic violence for 10 years. So me not knowing my worth as a young girl going through it again, I didn't know how to break out of that for a while. So I'm here I do events every year. I do a brunch every year ever since I moved back to Fayetteville 2017 from Atlanta. I've been doing brunches every October for domestic violence survivors. Get them together. We have a private safe haven. Nobody knows where we are. We eat, we laugh, we cry, we spill our resources. There's a lot of shelters around here that need help or need exposure for survivors and victims and things like that. I was trying to get a shelter here myself, but they ended up turning into a men's shelter. It is downtown. If anybody knows any men who are in need of help, there is a men's shelter here in Fayetteville. A lot of people don't know that. I also do a lot for therapy-wise, art therapy. I suffer from PTSD. My husband suffered from PTSD. I'm an Army brat. I only moved to Fayetteville because of the Army. My grandparents had custody of me, and they retired here for me. Because my mom was, doing what she's doing. She's better now. We have a good relationship. But for people who don't know their worth, men and women, children, as parents, that's what I'm trying to get out here. How to build resilient children, how to be a resilient parent so you can teach your child how to handle situations out here in the world instead of breaking down, knowing about anxiety, not using an excuse that, oh, I have anxiety, I can't do this, or I have social anxiety, I can't do this. I used to think that I had social anxiety, but I've stood in front of more than 100 people at the Cape Fear Theater and spoke about domestic violence. I have done A&R and PR work at A3C festivals. I can't believe I've been on Living Hip Hop before, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So it's possible to do the things.
You're decorated, I hear you.
It's possible to do the things that you want to do out here, and I don't want people to think that their mental health is in control of them. You know what I mean? So
absolutely, mental health is definitely an issue that we need to touch on, especially in our community.
Yes,
because a lot of times we've been taught that bullshit. What happens in the house stays in the house.
Oh, you just acting up,
so we don't get the help that we should get. Yep. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like especially as black men, it's frowned upon if we speak out or we show vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times we hold stuff in and we don't get the help we get.
You're right.
Like I said, so. Yeah, it's definitely something in our community specifically, but in everybody's community that needs to be touched on because mental health and domestic violence especially, that's definitely a no-go. I'm glad you made it out of that. You're doing all right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's definitely some things that need to be addressed and annihilated, taken out. You know what I mean? Because you don't put your hands on nobody. You know?
Especially stigmas around it. Keeping it quiet and that whole not telling no.
It's conversations that need to be had.
Yeah, you know definitely.
I mean? When you keep it quiet, that ain't helping nobody.
Right.
Because you'd be surprised who's actually suffering and won't speak out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do want to say that I just graduated with my criminal justice degree, and I had no idea. I had no idea that Cumberland County had a nonprofit called CommuniCare. I did my externship there. It's in the same building with child support. They do everything. Domestic violence. We do case management for children. I got the chance to work with children one-on-one, habitual runaways and things like that. That's
habitual runaways.
Habitual
run away all the time.
All the time.
It's a thing.
And they'll tell you,
why do they run away all the time?
It's a thing.
They don't want to be home. They don't want to be at school. They want to be in the streets. Like
they would rather risk that. They would rather risk that.
It's a lot of
You'd be surprised. My cousin was a runaway. They had to put a whole APB out for her. And she was 16.
I had a chance to do the case management and gang intervention. So a lot of these kids, it may not seem like it, but these fake gangs and stuff, these kids are running for these old heads and thinking they're doing something and they're really not. You know what I mean? So they're skipping school for whatever reason. And some of these parents are just like, well, just send them to jail. And that's another thing that's messing up the community is, yes, I've dealt with parents who are just like,
yeah, they don't
let's go to court. I don't want to send them to no camp and all that. So
they don't have no energy for it. Yeah.
It's sad. So it's
that
stuff, especially with me growing up with boys. I got 2 boys now, and I don't want to have to deal with a lot of stuff, so I'm trying to be that parent to.
Oh, so you do have kids?
I have two sons. I just had.
Okay, it just says how do people with no kids struggle.
Yes, because I
assumed you didn't have any kids.
No,
so
I remember because a lot of my friends already had kids. I have a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still a new mom. A lot of my friends, 16, 17, 18 years old, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. So I've helped with some of their kids and things like that. So I know, and I had a mom who kind of left us, and me at 15 years old working at KFC to take care of a little boy and 2 little girls as siblings, you know what I mean? I know what it feel like to take care of kids that ain't your kids, or I'm struggling to pay these bills. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's why people struggle with no kids and going into bad relationships and things like that. And a young adulthood before 25 is a struggle. I don't care what nobody says, like, especially if you don't know what you're doing.
That's true. I believe
you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. Especially if they don't have the proper guidance that they needed. You know what I mean? If the parent is absent.
Shout out to Emma. She always made sure I had the proper guidance. I knew it was on top. Love you, Mom.
But yeah.
I'm on TV, Mama.
It's definitely, it's definitely lacking, I feel like, in certain households. It's a lot more common than people would think.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, they say that goes back to the family structure, maybe. You know what I mean? The father not being in the home, or the mother, the broken home, or whatever you want to call it, syndrome. And then, it stems from that. Everything's systematic pretty much, So
definitely.
I can definitely understand that. But like I said, we're glad you made it out and made it through all that, and we're doing good now. And so, this foundation you have, you said it's a foundation or it's a nonprofit organization?
Yes.
Okay, we get it right. I have a nonprofit also. Illusions Community Youth Experience in the Arts. So
we
we
gotta hear about that too.
Yeah, we've been incorporated since '89. Mom Duke started it. We take it to the next level. But that ain't what this is about. I'm just dropping a plug for you. Check me out. But so with your nonprofit, what exactly do y'all do? You gave us a little bit of what y'all do.
Right.
If somebody wants to be involved with that or help out with that, how do they contact you and get involved?
Right now on
or
Facebook,
be a part of any events you're gonna have or anything.
Right now on Facebook is at the Standing Light Foundation. If you need community service hours, that's primarily what we do. Like I said, we adopted Clark Park down there off of Ramsey Street. We adopted the playground and the front planter part where the garden is. So if anybody needs community service hours, you're welcome to come clean, help plant, things like that. I also got it because I feel like a lot of things in Fayetteville are unseen, and there's nothing to do in Fayetteville. Clark Park is the second. Clark Park is the second biggest park in Cumberland County. There's waterfalls. There's a.
And where is this at? Clark Park, where?
It's down off of Ramsey Street, right there by the VA. Behind the VA, actually, all of the Cape Fear Trail covers part of Clark Park. So there's a waterfall.
I didn't heard of this park. What? And I'm born and raised here.
Wow. So there's a waterfall. There's trails. There's actually a live reptile exhibition on the inside. It's free. People go out to the bike trail. There's now a walking reading book. So bring your kids out there, whatever. You can walk the trail and read, and it has like activities for you to do while you walk. Okay. So it'll be like, pretend like you're shaking maracas, almost like you got an exercise going on while you're walking. The kids get a chance to read, or you read to your kids. So that's we go out there. My husband primarily plants, and we've had plenty of people in this area that have helped us with this park, and it's beautiful. At first, Clark Park was kind of empty, no flowers out there, things like that. So if y'all get,
and when do y'all do that?
We're out there whenever we decide to pop up,
Okay.
So
you post it or something? Or? Okay. So they need to follow you on Facebook then?
Yes.
Or Instagram? Or just Facebook?
Just Facebook right now.
Okay.
The Standing Light Foundation.
Oh, that's what it is, the Standing Light Foundation on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. Did you go to Dreamville Fest?
No, I didn't. I wish I did.
Oh, you missed out. Mm-hmm. It was a dandy.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed myself.
I saw.
Alexis, you had some thoughts about Dreamville Fest, because a lot of people online, they've been questioning why Cole didn't have it here, and
I do have my opinion on that though.
I'm glad you're here.
I work festivals.
They also what was it? Why he didn't have it here? What was something else?
And why
has he signed any artists?
Or put artists on the stage. Yeah.
Or put artists on the stage. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Well, you said you have some thoughts. How do you feel about it?
Well, me doing the A3C festival, if anybody's been to the A3C festival, that is almost like South by Southwest. There's no, I guess, structure to A3C. It's not just one building, one parking lot of A3C. You know what I mean? Like, there's an inside convention where they have panels and all that stuff where you're actually learning about the music side of things, and then they have the outside where there's a stage and people perform, and then all of Edgewood, I think it is, one of them areas down there. Every business down there has a platform set up for A3C, and if you are an A&R or a music company, record label, whatever, if your stage is registered, most who know, registered stages mean you're published BMI, ASCAP type stages. That means you're getting paid. Mm-hmm. So if those stages are registered, you're getting paid. J. Cole didn't set that up to be like that. You know what I'm saying? They can't compare what J. Cole wants to do. That's not his vision. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have the space here to do it because Atlanta, Texas, they have hotels and they have a strip to do that. We don't have no strip down here to set up all them platforms and have all them vendors. And again, that's now an international festival. That's not no.
Oh yeah.
That's not no dollar. That's not a dollar festival. Yeah. You know what I mean?
People told me he came from 3,000 miles away. As he told Cole, he came from 3,000 miles away. It would be
nice, you know. It would be nice, but that's just not the vision. That's not what it don't make sense.
It's entitled to many people. It's not enough space, not enough hotels.
No.
So what do you feel?
Now they're building hotels.
To me, I feel like people here, they weren't able to see like the actual amount of people that were there physically. You know, like how me and you saw how big the space is. And I'll give a comparison because a lot of people were comparing.
I was there both days. I didn't even see you.
But that's what I'm saying. I was working a bar, and I was literally, how they said, people from everywhere. I'm seeing IDs from Michigan. I'm seeing IDs from California. Like, hey, you know, you're from Fayetteville. They were excited to see somebody, like, from there. But they were coming, like Canada. I had Canadian IDs. I had people from Arizona. You know what I mean? But the thing that people are failing to realize is the scope of the magnitude of that crowd, you know what I'm saying, versus here. I'll put it in perspective real quick. Festival Park is 14 acres, okay? Like the layout of the park. Dorothea Dix is 308. So how are y'all going to facilitate all those people in the same amount of space that y'all are saying is equipped for, you know what I mean? And even with the Fort Bragg Fairgrounds, because I was one of them people that went to Summer Jams back in the day when they had Lil' Kim and Wayne and, you know, Plies and all them, Ludacris, all those type people. When Foxy 99, like for real, when Foxy 99 was out there on the fairgrounds, even that type of space, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you have to have those types of accommodations in place to cover all them people as well. They saying that he supposedly broke a record, and it was like upwards to like 80,000 people.
And Summer Jam still didn't have that many vendors and all that stuff.
Yeah,
still.
Because we had like, I think it was like a total of like 30 bars, and that's just bars, and that's like the tent. Like each bar was about the size of this room.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We had 30 of them. Not to mention the merch tent was like the size of like a neighborhood Walmart.
And the line was wrapped.
Yeah,
Three times.
You got to think about the space that you have to accommodate that amount of people, and not only account for that, you know, he had the art installations, and he had, you know, the camera equipment and the Ferris wheel and all that stuff.
The Ferris wheel.
Yeah, and then you got to, you know, amount for parking and things of that nature. So it was just, to me, I felt like it was like logistically, and they've been saying it's just not possible for Fayetteville to take on something that magnitude.
And then when he first did it the first time, he came to Fayetteville first. And
they told
him it wasn't enough room, and they
shut him down. Yeah, the city was not.
I don't understand why everybody's still confused. If y'all already shut me down, y'all ain't coming back.
The last one, all the anticipation built up. Yeah, you got to be prepared for that. You don't want no Travis Scott situation.
I had a successful one already in Raleigh. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
It's only an hour.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot that was going on in my opinion, just from seeing it and
when
working.
When you brought Drake in them here, nobody knew they was coming.
Yeah.
So, so they popped up, him and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Now imagine if they knew they was coming.
Right. No,
the whole shit would have been flooded. Yeah, no way.
It won't.
We talking about headliners. He brought like 8 headliners.
Yeah, no, it was deep. Especially even with Wayne.
Who all have fan bases of their own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like when Wayne came out, listen.
He had Wayne, T.I., and Jeezy on the same set.
It was a whole nother level, bro.
City would have been shut down.
I was just saying,
completely. Nobody was doing nothing.
Nah, and he had a dope set. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like Wiz, like if you knew, like
Wiz Khalifa was good.
Yeah,
everybody was good.
I've seen Wiz before in Atlanta.
It was just like I said. It was just way too many people. I was looking at because the first day I could see down to the bottom of the hill, but that second day, boy, all you saw, it was like in SpongeBob when you saw them see a fish. That's all you saw was just nothing but Negroes. I'm not even holding you. That's all you saw. So for people to say like, oh yeah, he could have did it here. Bro, you just had to be there, and you wouldn't have said that. Because I was one of the people in the past, but nah, that changed my whole mind.
I ain't never said that because like I said, when the first year he had, it was crazy like that. People was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I already know Raleigh was Banana Saturday night. Yeah. I went home. I ain't stay for that. I already knew it was gonna be crazy.
Nah, it was. And then Boosie was in town. They had all types of stuff, like other stuff that was in town too.
Boosie stay here?
He's here a lot, ain't he?
I think he got a cousin here. As much as he here.
He got an apartment here or something.
He probably do. He got land something.
He about to run for city council.
He run for city council next, right?
Yes, he love the Carolinas, boy. I swear.
Goodness. He's here.
Yeah.
I fuck with Boosie though. Boosie go hard.
No, he does. That's like an OG in the game.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the Dreamville Fest more next week. You know, got some guests coming on. You know, the money team coming on.
Yeah, they're gonna speak their piece.
All right, they're gonna get that piece. Cause a lot. I mean, that's all I've been seeing since the festival online is people. You know, what I'm saying, how y'all feel about it? The fact that you know what I mean.
I mean, it don't matter. You can do what you want to. It's his shit.
Right. There you go.
Bottom line.
Right.
It's his vision.
Business wise.
I mean, the people.
I would have did the same thing. I would have had somewhere where I could get enough people to make more money.
A neutral site. People favor still win. I sure was there.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're Travis Scott issue, why would you want to put it somewhere? No space. Nobody want to get trampled on. Shit, that happened.
Nobody almost got he got it at the mud. How did people through his CD?
It was in a warehouse.
See, it'll be like $10 dose. Cole, if you see this shit, I want my $10.
Here you go.
Oh my God.
$10 now.
Oh God. Oh my God. He said he need that 10. Hey, it is what it is.
He said chalk it up to the game.
Yeah. I just feel like a lot of artists, if they would have went up there, they could have really utilized what they had going on that weekend though. Like I said, when it came to like, you know, promo.
It was there now.
But I'm saying there's a lot of the people who were talking down on it as if, you know,
why you out there moving and shaking? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. You could have been in the parking lot. You had to buy no ticket. You could have been out there. And I tell people all the time, the easiest promo is free promo. If you in that space with that many people, why were you not airdropping your mixtape to everybody up in there? Versus doing physical copies, why not airdrop your shit? You get what I'm saying?
See?
You out there with 80K, and this is free game. This is dead free game. I literally was at the bar and I'm working and I legit, everybody that came around, you dead ass, all you had to do was just airdrop it to anybody that had their stuff open because they not thinking about being airdropped right then and there. They thinking about seeing the next liner, you know what I'm saying? Like on the bid, they trying to see the next act. So it was easy. Yeah, because you had to bounce back and forth from one end to the other end, like on some end zone type shit.
Yeah, you want to see them.
I feel like it's a lot of excuses when it comes to some stuff, but I'm gonna hold that off for another day because I know you got some other stuff going on. But that's just my opinion. Hey, that's just my opinion.
I was going to ask you, how you feel about him not signing any favorite artists like this?
Oh, as far as him not signing? Okay, so with a lot of like labels, if you notice nowadays, they go with the general aesthetic of what they already provide. Okay, so when it comes to like your TDEs, notice K-Dot has a lot of artists that are very similar because they also know how to market very similarly. You know, you got your heavy camps and your CMGs and people like that go after, you know, your people that they know how to market. You get what I'm saying? It's more so not necessarily like he's not banking on Fayetteville talent. I just feel like for him, he knows what works for him, so he's gonna apply it to the people. You get what I'm saying? Like that. He knows he can take off with or guide.
I feel like it's a million other labels. Why nobody else ain't picked you up if you that hot?
That's another thing as well. You know what I'm saying? That's not the only option that there is out there.
He ain't the only one with a label.
And it's
you that hot. Nobody else ain't picked you up.
Yeah. If anything, you know you should have.
If you could like fish, like you trying to say.
And he didn't say because it's called Dreamville he'll sign anybody from the Ville. He's from the Ville, so he used that name.
Yeah, that was his platform.
Somebody else started a record label.
Yeah. That's true.
This is true. There's like people
if you don't like it, start your own.
Throw a festival. Who can throw?
Yeah.
All these independent artists right here who grind and doing that thing, getting out the mud, get together. Get 5 or 10 of y'all get together and y'all throw a festival.
Fry some fish, make a flyer. Y'all know what to do.
Getting J. Cole ain't blow out of Fayetteville either.
He left. He went to New York, walked around with them. I will make beats for Jay-Z shirts and signs outside Rockefeller, whatever it was called at the time, until he got picked up.
But that's the thing, because it's like
came back for a little while.
Grinding.
And then went back.
Grinding. Yeah.
And now it's like it's sparking that controversy and it's got people talking, but you notice it's still like, you know, a couple of clicks here and there that are more so banding together like, hey bro, let's do this and a third. Why not everybody come up under the same umbrella? If it's 40, 50 people that's all talking the same stuff, like what is stopping y'all from actually putting that into effect?
All y'all gotta do is get together, go rent out the fairgrounds or rent out the spaces.
That part.
All y'all got music.
Because there are festivals that are coming up, and there's shows that are coming up like specifically for that, like the Beyond Local Concert. You got the I Love Music Festival that's happening like out in Kingston. It's places and avenues for that. It's just supporting our own at this point.
What it is they bullshit and they meal doing, they stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
Straight No Chase Festival coming soon. Stay tuned. And we going to break
I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah,
And
no.
make sure before y'all talking junk about this.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Welcome my man to the show, Mo Chedda. In the building, baby. Man, Bunce Bril.
Yes, sir.
Big homie bands in the building. You know what I'm saying? Mo ain't want to say, he's giving the silent treatment right now. He want to say nothing. He got that Carolina over there making my eyes bleed. I don't even look in his direction. I'm going to look at this one focus this way. What y'all got going on, fellas? I ain't going to talk to him right now. What's up? What's going on? Welcome to the new set. See, we've upgraded in the world, baby. We're coming up, getting that paper.
Yeah. Moving on up.
Hey, man, hey. Come on now. Fish don't burn the kitchen. Beans don't burn the grill. Come on. Took a lot of trying to get up that hill. Now we're in the big leagues. Oh, man. What's good? What's up with you? What's the latest with the music, baby? I know you still rapping. Spit hot fire.
Yeah. I got a couple projects I'm working on. I dropped my last track. The video I dropped, my most recent video is Up the Ladder. I shot that at Michael Williams Jr. boxing gym.
We're all in the same room, so you don't have to talk that loud.
Hey, I'm Bunce Bril. I can't help it.
You loud, wasn't it?
Down south.
But do your thing, man.
I'm from down south. That's the down south in me. You gotta remind me sometime. Dirty south.
We got you. Go ahead, though. So you did that with Mike. With Mike, you did a song for Mike, you said?
Yeah, I shot a video at the Boxer, Michael Williams Jr. gym. Y'all know who that is. He one of the next big boxers up out of Fayetteville.
Absolutely.
He nice.
He's on the comeback. He took a L.
He was undefeated, yeah. He only took one L, but he bouncing back.
He on the way back. He got a fight coming up.
Then I dropped another song called
Team Williams Jr.
I dropped another track called Let It Off about a month ago. Video shoot for that coming soon. Got a video shoot next week too for a song called No Cap. Me and my big cuz Leviticus, Levy Rican and Noob. You feel me?
Yeah, Leviticus, that's the name right there.
Yes, sir. Y'all know that crazy man. Y'all don't know Levi. Hey, that big cut, he crazy.
Yeah, that boy.
You know, that's just him.
Mo, what's up with you, baby? Besides that Carolina bullshit you wearing, I know you took. I thought we were gonna put an ABB out on you, cause I know you was gonna Drake bleach or what's going on. Cause a lot of y'all been sick. A lot of y'all was sick now. Cause y'all had y'all memes ready when y'all was up 16 at halftime. Y'all was ready to cut them up now. Now then what happened? That tide turned quick, didn't it?
One of the biggest leagues.
I mean,
the biggest in history.
The biggest.
I don't know how that shit happened.
I don't know.
I mean,
them turnovers happened quick. What you mean?
They played in the second. They played in the first half like they beat Duke. In the second half,
they did.
But then in the second half, they played like Duke was whipping them. I ain't understand that. My mans kept missing all the easy layups.
The Florida game was nowhere.
They ain't on it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Caleb Love's shot selection was horrible.
Right. And then
I don't know what kind of shots he was taking.
And then
I don't know if he was listening to the ESPN hype, or if he saw his name on the draft board and got excited, or what.
Oh boy, that was started getting hot. That brought us back and tied it up. They stopped passing on the damn ball. They started throwing up and shit.
Oh, the young boy, Cameron Payne, not Cameron Payne. The boy from Cameron Johnson that played for Phoenix, his brother.
His eyes this close together.
Yeah, but hey.
His body probably could adapt to them steroids.
The conditioning, baby. Hey, the conditioning. Steroids. He was playing that many minutes, baby. Hey, your body got. People think it's easy, run up and down that court, playing them minutes, playing defense, taking them shots. That shit ain't easy.
Body cut.
You gotta be in shape to do that.
Motherfucker hit a
serious shit.
Ran back like this.
It's over. That chest start pumping. Say, hey, bro, you need to go sit down.
Then, my big boy, he got hurt in the Duke game anyway. I ain't know whether he was gonna play or not. He did it well. I ain't gonna say that because he was missing a lot of shit.
He had double-double.
I mean,
he ain't never been on Killer nowhere. He had a couple good games here lately.
You know, if you can reach through the TV and just,
the
freeway, man, what you
not
doing?
Not the freeway, yo, goddamn.
Said you just reach through the TV and hit him with a Will Smith. What's wrong with you? Yeah, reach through the TV and hit him with a Will Smith, Chris Rock.
Say Say you wouldn't dare with Chris Rock. So you could keep your composure. Yeah, you got to be professional though.
I put that nigga in the bar back.
Yeah, profession would have went out the window that day with me.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Cause I would have damn responses, awards.
So you ain't nobody slap you like down there.
I forgot all about professionalism.
My mama don't slap
You
me.
heard what his brother said?
My mama told me don't let nobody else slap me. So
Yeah, that's one
everybody
thing more
gonna slap me on
quarterback.
TV.
That's after the fact.
He slapped that man.
So Tony Rock know where Will Smith stay. He know how to get in contact with Will. Did you go see him?
Well, no.
I mean,
okay, you talking about- but he talking about on the special, right?
If somebody slap you and me and you together and you don't ride for yourself, what I'm gonna ride for you for?
But then don't be on your damn show talking about what you gonna do then.
I mean, that's true too.
Man, I ain't brothers would have ran on stage. It would have been a brawl at the Oscars.
Oh, we would have seen Will. We know how to contact Will. We gonna go see Will.
Yeah.
Not a problem. We know you
at. He would have been popping bottles that night.
I'm Tony Rock. I can get anywhere you can get in.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. That's Tony. He Tony Rock. He ain't Chris Rock.
Yeah, but he's still.
Yeah,
He can get in.
Chris Rock.
Pretty much any place Will's at, he can get in.
He got a name for it.
I didn't say he was as big as him. I'm saying he can get in the building. That's what I'm saying.
Hell yeah, with
That's
no
a
questions
possibility.
asked. But
Yeah, pretty much anywhere he pretty much is at, he can get in there.
he's
I ain't
still-
seen Tony
To go
Rock.
holler at him.
I ain't seen or heard of Tony Rock since after that slap. And then he had a stand-up show.
He was talking shit.
I ain't hear
He
see
was
nothing about
talking
him
shit.
until after that slap.
That boy
shit.
was talking shit too.
Oh,
The other comedian that got into that little roast fest with Brown at at some kind of award show when Brown and Fat
talking about
Boy-
Corey Holcomb,
Nah, the big motherfucker.
Lavelle,
Oh yeah.
Crawford.
One eye.
Yeah,
Man, he gonna slap his eye right, please.
he might have a little voice vertical going on.
Looking like a potato. Talking about Lavelle Crawford.
He got into it with 2 Chainz not too long ago.
Not Titty. Shout out to Titty. That's my boy.
Yes,
Fuck
sir.
with Chains.
Did he 2 times?
So what's up with the music, man? You got something out, coming out, or what's going on, man?
Shit, I got like a.
Oh, is the Carolina Blues keeping you down? Is it holding back your creativity?
Hey, look.
Just asking, man.
Actually, you know what I'm saying? I got a 17 song project coming out.
Oh shit! All right.
But you know, I got this song coming up for Duke. Probably drop that shit tonight.
I should get the first copy too. I want the boss to get the first copy. I want to hear it first.
See, I can't dish you because you my boy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know about that. Yeah. So I can say, hey, Dad. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all go check out Big Cuz' new video we had featuring Bunce Bril. Okay, too, out on our platforms and YouTube.
I like that song.
There it is. There it is, dude.
Shit
Check them
every
out.
day.
Check them out.
Yeah, I got some shit working though, man. Dogs, the dog business going.
Okay, you still doing the dogs?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
What kind of dogs you selling for people that don't know?
Staffordshire extra large, and I'm about to jump into the bully game. I got me a nice boy. He coming up looking real good.
What's the average price of these dogs running?
Shit.
I don't want to get on to your numbers, but just let people give people an idea what you're doing.
I can't say fan prices, but 15.
Okay. Okay.
Fan prices, you know, fan
Hey,
prices.
we work out with this, what you work out. I'm just I want people to have an idea for they can, you know, might have a lot of people want dogs now.
You want an
A
extra
lot of people want
large,
dogs.
Big extra large pit bull. Yeah.
I ain't paying $2,000 for no damn dog myself, but to each his own.
People pay $10,000.
I know.
Yeah, I
I know.
just met a guy the other night. Nice Merles. What's the ticket $10,000? But if shit go like it's supposed to go, then I'm gonna go ahead and get one for him, a girl. I got a pocket bully, so I'm gonna see what that jump. You know, you mix your shit together and come up with your own shit. That's how I did with the shits I be having now. And
That's what they call it, designer dogs.
yeah. But see, my staffies, let me show you my big boy.
It's a stink business, ain't it?
XG Herbo, he got in trouble for that.
It's
Them dogs
a
are
cold
good
world.
business too. I got a homegirl named Ladiva Pre. She that sold
yeah.
a dog
I'm about
to
to get
Rich
one.
Stunner for Vegas.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Cheating
Yeah.
ass Byron.
Pre's been on before. She's supposed to came back. She
Yeah,
been doing
that's
shit.
my
now.
nigga.
She doing her thing with the
Damn
dog.
talking
That's
shit.
the
Pre
homie.
supposed to been came back. You
That's the
bullshit.
homie. Shout
What
out
up,
Pre.
Pre?
But she said she breeding dogs now. That's why she can't get away because she's still breeding
she
dogs.
got me up.
Shit a full
I talked to her yesterday. That's
Nice
full
guy.
time.
Get one for her.
I can barely leave the house.
Oh, she got them all. They running around now.
She got the micros, the goddamn.
She got them
She got them now. She got them.
She got them all.
Pretty too. Pretty
Boy, though.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, they get about that size.
All right.
And,
Well, if y'all need them dogs, hit my man up. Y'all hear it now.
killers too. Killers from the
I know I'm gonna get a girl from him.
Oh yeah,
You pick you up one?
I only had 2 boys this litter. Everything else is girls.
I already know.
We got talking about Lakers not making the damn play in too. They ain't worth for shit.
For us, I mean, if you can say dumb,
LeBron getting old now.
Is that what it is? If LeBron's old now, that's what y'all saying now? Because a minute ago now, earlier in the season they hollering about how he was in year 19, he was such a killer. So now he's old now. That's what we're saying?
His ball spot went for here, now it's like this.
So 1 year he's got old all of a sudden.
He the most intelligent player on the court, but now he got them other young boys that's even bigger than him or the same size.
It's four top 75 players on that team.
Yeah.
4.
I mean, but they all, they all leaders. Yeah, they all up there in that age, and they all
up in age.
Leaders in their own way.
They bones creaking like we were just talking about with their body.
Leading their ass right to Cancun.
They bones creaking, popping shit after a couple minutes.
The man don't want them boys to shine. If he let them boys shine and do what they do, because everybody on that team.
So you saying LeBron don't want them to shine?
Everybody got capability of scoring 30 points at any given time. Yeah. But no, he on this goddamn way. He want the ball every goddamn time.
So you saying they Westbrook like they been saying all year? It's LeBron.
I think Westbrook been doing this goddamn thing. I don't care what nobody say. Westbrook been doing his thing. Got the best.
It's a lot of missed layups. It's a lot of turnovers.
Shout out Mike. We been doing that thing.
Now this is true. Now
what about you?
This is true.
So what makes you think you can say this about this and kick this man out 10 because you missing shots too? You fucking up, AD. Oh my God, you need a goddamn.
Mr. Glass, Mr. Glass, man, please. I'm so sick. Mr. Glass got me so sick.
He need a tampon, bro.
Yeah, Mr. Glass got me so sick. Mario, you said you're a LeBron fan, right?
Yeah, man. I don't know what happened this year. We got him, but for so much longer.
And we were the favorites for the West to win the West.
It started out that way.
Yeah.
You know what they call it?
We can't even fuck with the dance. We can't even play
the Miami Heat though. Yeah, we doing our thing. 305. Shout out Jimmy Butler.
Ain't no trying to take the moment to add into your Miami shit.
Hey, you know I gotta shout out my 305. You feel me?
They call him 305. I said, good God.
Also, I got a topic. Got the ladies in the house tonight.
Can get the whole team kicked off. Besides LeBron. Get a whole new.
They say he's earned it. He's LeBron James.
Well,
he earned what? Okay, you
it's all about the contract. Can you see how Kawhi up and left that contract was over?
What's going on here?
LeBron, he got more points. He done goddamn pass. What you call it?
Who?
LeBron.
Oh yeah, LeBron didn't pass Michael Jordan and Kobe in points.
Yeah, but he
the only thing he ain't passed Michael Jordan in his championships.
What time would have been passed? He's passed Kareem. Not Kareem. He just passed Karl Malone. He still got passed Kareem.
He done passed Jordan too though, right?
LeBron didn't pass Michael Jordan
before. It was Jordan, Kobe, Karl Malone, then Kareem. And he just passed Jordan, Kobe, and Karl Malone. He still got to pass Kareem. He ain't passed Kareem yet.
I don't think he gonna pass Kareem before his knees give out.
What he got to pass Kareem, man? Because LeBron didn't pass everybody in just about all around stats. And Kareem might got him in 3 pointers or something.
He's not number one in anything.
Nah.
He's not number one in anything. What are you talking about?
LeBron?
Yes, LeBron.
No, I ain't say he was number one.
You said he passed everybody.
I'm talking about the greats like Michael Jordan. He didn't pass Michael Jordan in just about all his stats.
He passed Michael Jordan in points. That's it.
In career points.
Michael Jordan has 10 scoring titles. LeBron has 1.
He will never pass
That's
that.
the only thing he ain't passed.
Jordan has way more defensive selections than LeBron.
Yeah, he won't never pass that.
Jordan has way more finals MVPs, league MVPs, championships than LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron's still the GOAT.
Never.
LeBron got a lot of MVPs.
I'm still gonna give him.
He's just about that guy that LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan is.
LeBron's got 4
rings. It was many rings and all his rings from the same team.
LeBron is a pony.
LeBron got 4 rings. Jordan got 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And 6 finals in less time.
Got as many rings
in less time. LeBron's in year 19. Jordan did that in 13 years.
Michael Jordan wouldn't survive in this day and age.
Shit, me.
What?
He wouldn't.
What? Shit.
Wait, what?
That was more physical. Man, that was more physical back then. Today it's more skill.
Exactly. So the only way you can say he wouldn't survive is because they kill him in foul trouble.
First of all, that's bullshit.
But if you still
they were way more skilled and way more harder. It's only 15 guys.
Way more skilled.
It's only 15 guys that can play now. Everybody else sucks. They ain't good.
Right.
You can name the 15 guys that are good. Outside of that, everybody else is mediocre.
Most teams build them around
everybody else is mediocre. Back in the day,
how many players can you think you can't name 15 players, elite players from back in the day?
I can name teams. The doggone Dallas had a squad. squad. Damn, Detroit had a squad. Damn, Cleveland had a squad.
You name 15 players. You can't name 15
I'm telling you, players. All these players now. And them 15 players play on 5 teams now.
The Spurs' whole roster was like that.
Every year, you know who's gonna be in the finals. Just about every year.
Yeah.
When the season starts.
I mean,
every year.
Every year back then, you know who's gonna be in the finals.
No,
Michael
you
Jordan.
No, you didn't. Jordan was getting scraped. Jordan didn't get to the finals in the 90s. In the 80s, it was the Magic. I mean, never Magic. The Magic when he existed. Magic.
Yeah.
Lakers and Bird knew. Lakers and Celtics. That's what it was. Lakers and Celtics. And then you had Houston snuck in there for one. Then you had New York was a formidable. You had Detroit. Who came in and got them 2.
Phoenix.
You know what I'm saying? You had Phoenix in the round later. Phoenix arrived 90s.
In the 90s, you had Utah.
Utah was late 80s, 90s.
Yeah, late 80s going
they didn't really do much in the 80s.
They ain't win.
They was consistent, but they wasn't really winning and killing like that.
And that's
as far as
crazy.
like playoffs.
That's crazy because Malone and Stoddard had a nice.
They had a nice little roll together.
White boy name.
Poinsett.
That motherfucker.
Yeah, they had a nice.
Kobe was a killer.
Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, they got in the fight too.
But we did that, but that developed later. Like I said, everybody was talking about Jordan and playing about the Utah Jazz suck, but they beat Shaq and Kobe every year for 3-4 years. They beat Houston with Olajuwon. They beat Duncan and Robinson for 3 years, and they beat who?
Detroit.
And they beat Detroit.
Yeah, but see, when they did
Michael
that back
Jordan
in
was
the day,
just the most skilled player
Kobe
back
won't even
then.
thought of. It was Nick Van Ness, who Eddie goddamn, Eddie George and all them.
Eddie Jones. Yeah, but they had Dale Harris as the coach.
Yeah.
He don't know how to put them together.
They had the squad, Van Ness was unstoppable.
Man, that's what Nance with the left hand. Eddie Jones. I love Eddie Jones. They had Kobe too.
They was
Fox, Elvin Campbell.
They played the same game.
Shaq, yeah. He was number 6. Kobe was number 8. You couldn't even tell him apart sometimes.
They had the same style.
Squad.
Man, Ori don't win this team to team and got ring after ring after ring.
I got the ladies here, so I like see their opinion on this. The girl, I saw this online. The girl said, "Given the baby that you birthed, the dad's last name when you don't even have his last name will always be weird to me."
Oh yeah, I saw that on the book too.
What do y'all kind of shit?
What do y'all think about that?
I think it's some bullshit.
My jit whether men short together or not, we married or not, my jit gonna have my last name because that's how a man continue his legacy.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, but you know
that's the whole point of having a child.
And you might not be right there at that moment when they fuck around put their last name on that.
Shit, I'm gonna be there.
But ladies, how do y'all feel?
If you ain't there, then that's your fault. But if you there to sign
be
it,
on the
then
way, and they still do that shit.
Yeah, because why are you not showing up for the
shoot, you should be there before the baby born.
He's there, but y'all ain't married.
You should be there before the baby
born. So you still feel the baby should have his last name or not?
I got one on the way right now. We not married.
Yeah, if it comes down to me having a child with somebody, yeah, my child gonna have that person's last name.
Okay. I thought she sounded stupid myself, but you know, I like the last what the ladies think, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I got one on the way right now, and me and my shorty not married, and he gonna have my last. He or she gonna have my last name.
So
you ain't going for that.
She said that.
Yeah,
she said that.
She already let it be known.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
especially if you have boys back to back, first, second, third. You know, you senior. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but is the tweet asking though if she says, "Hey, I'm not gonna put your last name on this child
unless they're married"?
She said, "Given the baby you birthed, the dad's last name when you don't even have his last name will always be weird to me."
That's what I'm saying. So the inverse of that is that if you don't give me your last name, I'm not giving the baby your last name.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't put no old tomato on me like that.
Basically, she feel like this: if I had your child, you got to marry
you know.
For me to give your child your last name.
I can put the mule up in you. I ain't got to marry. I put the mule in you.
But what I'm saying is that what would you say?
That's what it sounds like to me. Like she said, if she having somebody's child, they got to marry her for her to give them their last name.
Because she's slinging a little monkey. I got to marry you now.
But you see, as a man,
where they do that at?
How would you respond if she said that to you?
As a man, you want your child to have your last name anyway. But
I would have said,
see, you shouldn't want to have children with anybody you don't want to marry anyway. You feel me? Which is probably her point of view. She's probably doing it like, if you want to unhappy like a wife, why did you have kids with me in the first place?
Yeah, I can understand that, but at the same time, man, my child and my family name or my line don't have nothing to do with if I got to marry you or not.
That name got my daddy blood on it.
My daddy blood. Yeah, they got daddy blood. Yeah.
Because if you
the name stays home.
Right. If you really go about she can
go with the name stays.
What was put into the procedures and paperwork and everything, the daddy last name is what everybody supposed to have. from way back from the after slavery days.
See, the reason
their daddy's last name, they take on that daddy last name, whether they was married.
Kids take on the daddy last name because women live longer than men on the average. So the child taking on the dad last name is the man is the legacy. Yes, statistically wise.
I don't know about that.
What? Statistically wise. If y'all don't believe me,
where you get these numbers from?
Statistically, if y'all don't believe me, y'all can look it up. It's an easy look
that
up.
part's true, boy.
It's an easy look up. Women live longer than men because men live a more dangerous lifestyle. We're the ones doing most of the dangerous works in this world, putting our lives on the line. Now, I'm not talking about women don't live dangerous, but on the everyday, on the daily, men live a more dangerous lifestyle.
They got back page.
It's more like
They
getting butt surgery. They getting ass surgery.
They getting motherfuckers caught putting their ass, talking about they want a BBL.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, women still live longer than men. Statistically, women live longer than men.
back in the day.
We heard you, Bunce.
Property.
They do.
Back in the day, only men could own property. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you gave your children the name of the father so they could inherit.
Right.
Property. So have more because women weren't allowed to open a bank account. Women were not allowed.
Yeah, women have no rights
to own property. So a lot of that stuff was back when a female was completely dependent. On a husband.
The good old days.
Even if you go back into biblical, not to get religious and all, if you go back into biblical and you read the Bible or Quran or whatever you read, it always go off of the father.
And they stayed home and had their plate ready when I walked in the door, goddamn.
If you think back in history, who's the one that get drafted to war and have to goes to war?
Me.
Women didn't have to go to war. They couldn't go to war. It was the men putting their lives on the line. You remember the Great Depression? The Great Depression. I
won't remember it. I won't there, but I know what you're talking about.
I'm saying y'all was taught about it. You was taught about the Great Depression, so you should remember the Great Depression. You feel me?
Yeah.
Or it might not even been the Great Depression, but it was a big war where a majority of the men was drafted into war, and woman was left to basically run the country.
No, but that's right.
You feel me? It was basically no men over here. All the men was fighting in the World War.
So tooth and tail is what
they want no pussy around.
For everyone on the front lines,
It was.
they gotta have somebody in the back, the tail, that's
In the rear.
making sure they're maintaining the equipment, they're maintaining the base. So really, whenever they say the man was on the front, yeah, but the only way they could even survive up there was if there were folks back home taking care of everything else.
Which was who? The woman.
Well, what I'm saying is that it's not like men.
Well, to the
deserve
granddaddy
more.
and the
Man's world. It's a man's world.
Because if you was your daddy first born, then you didn't have to go.
What happened to the granddaddy?
If you was the
If you was the firstborn, you didn't have to
What
go.
happened to the firstborn?
It is 3
The
children.
granddaddy. The uncle.
2 out
Might be
the
right.
go.
I might be wrong.
2 out the 3 go. Just one of them.
I know all of them didn't have to go.
One of them.
If you was the daddy, only child.
Yeah, you the dad. If you the only child, you don't have to.
What happened to the dog? The granddaddy.
Private Ryan.
The uncle. The stepdad. Nigga, what happened to Jody?
It was the elderly.
Nah,
He was
Jody
around back then too.
Are you talking about something else?
It was elderly.
Jody grew up. Jody got a job and shit, moved
Jody
out.
was around back then too.
Really?
Hell yeah, Jody was been around since been
Nah, I
around.
think butt naked was around back then.
Not butt naked. God, not bucket naked.
Bucky Necky.
Back then it was the mailman.
Well, I don't know about bucket naked out there. We're going to wrap it up, though. Mochella, appreciate you coming on through.
On that note.
Yeah, on the bucket nakedness. We're going to wrap it on up. Bunce Bril, Big Homie Bands. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Straight No Chase with Jesse Mitchell. I am the innovator, the emancipator, the originator, Jesse Mitchell. Like I said, you never know what we're going to see, who we're going to have, who we're going to walk in the door, who we're going to be, what we're going to talk about. Stay tuned.
Hey.
2-6.